Hi, I'm Maya, and I'm here to guide you through the Next Generation Accuplacer Writing Placement Test. We're going to go over the content you'll see on the test, how the test is graded, effective test-taking tips, and scores needed for college-level course placement. We'll also be discussing some free options that are available for self-study. For the purpose of studying for the test, it's important to talk about the literary genres and subject area material you'll see on the test. You'll also need to know how many questions are on the test and how your writing skills are being evaluated. Let's get started. There are both fictional and informational texts on the Next Generation Accuplacer Writing Test. This means that you'll be reading short passages based on fictional short stories or novels, and even passages from informative, explanatory, and persuasive nonfiction essays. The informational text passages you'll see on the test can come from any subject area, including the following: history, psychology, sociology, philosophy, literature, biology, chemistry, and astronomy. This means that one of the best ways to prepare for the test is to spend time reading and learning about topics and ideas from these subjects. A great place to start would be a textbook or newspaper or magazine articles. Now we're going to talk more about how the test is graded. This test is not a basic grammar test. While it's important to know the rules of English grammar, punctuation, and sentence structure, you're really being judged on your ability to improve a piece of writing. Think of yourself as an editor. While reading the passages and questions on the test, consider the following questions. How can I make this piece of writing better? How can I make the ideas come across clearly so that my reader understands? How can I organize the ideas and information so that the ideas flow smoothly? Which words should I use to convey my ideas effectively? For grammar and punctuation questions, consider the following. Can I identify and fix sentence fragments in writing? Can I identify and fix run-on sentences? Do I know how to use periods, commas, colons, and semicolons correctly? Can I be consistent with using verb tenses in a sentence? Asking yourself these questions will make sure you're approaching the test the right way. There are a total of 25 questions on the test. 5 questions will be based on a fictional passage you will read. The rest of the questions will be from informational, also known as nonfiction passages that you'll be asked to read. That's why it's really important to pay attention to the type of text that you're reading, and to prepare for the test by reading informational passages about real-world topics. Most of the questions on the test are related to the overall development and organization of ideas expressed in writing. Again, this is not a simple grammar test. There are only an average of 10 grammar and punctuation questions on the test. Always keep this in mind as you're taking the test. Don't stress out over the grammar questions. Now let's move on to talking about some highly effective test-taking tips. There is no time limit for the test. Use this to your advantage. It's not often that you'll have unlimited time to take a test, so take your time to make sure that you're doing your best. This is an adaptive, multiple-choice test. This means that the test questions become more challenging as you get more answers correct. This also means that the test questions may become less challenging as you answer more questions incorrectly. But don't let this scare you too much. If you're effectively working through the test, it will provide you with an accurate score of your writing skills. Because the test is adaptive, your answers cannot be changed once they are submitted. This is why it's so important to take your time and keep your focus as you work through the test. On test day, make sure that you're prepared. It's probably not such a great idea to take the test on a really busy day when your schedule is packed. It's ideal to spend at least 45 minutes to an hour taking the test, so make sure you account for this in your schedule. Also, be mindful that there will be other students in the testing center who are taking exams. This is important to remember if you know that you get easily distracted. The most important thing to remember about this test is that you should read the entire passage before you begin answering questions. Remember, this is not a simple grammar test. Many of the test questions require that you've read and understood the entire passage to successfully answer the questions. This is why it's best to spend more time reading. You will spend less time answering the questions if you have an understanding of the passage first. When you reach a more difficult question, it's best to eliminate wrong answer choices first and to think about why these answer choices are incorrect. When you decide on a correct answer, it's equally important to explain why this answer is correct. There is no need to guess on this test, so you should be referring to the text to explain why you're choosing your answers. Now let's talk about the scores you'll need on the Accuplacer writing test to begin taking college-level classes. First, let's quickly talk about using the ACT or SAT test to enroll in college-level classes. If you have already taken the ACT or SAT test, or you plan to take the test in the near future, you may be able to use these test scores to enroll in college-level classes here at Lakeland. On the ACT writing test, you'll need a score of 18 or higher. On the SAT evidence-based reading and writing test, you'll need a score of 480 or higher. Now, let's get back to the Accuplacer writing test and the scores you'll need for college classes at Lakeland. For the writing test, you will need a score of 263 or higher. You'll receive your scores immediately after taking the test, so you'll know right away if you can begin taking college-level classes. Luckily, there are many ways you can successfully prepare for the Accuplacer writing test. Most importantly, it's totally free. The Accuplacer test was created by College Board, the same creators of the PSAT and SAT tests. They also created the popular Advanced Placement courses, also known as AP. The Accuplacer writing test is very similar to the SAT writing and language test. This is why one of the best ways to prepare for the Accuplacer writing test is to complete practice SAT writing and language tests. The College Board website provides free sample practice questions for the Accuplacer writing test. They also have a web app available, so you can even take a practice test online. For more practice, you could purchase a copy of the official SAT study guide. Make sure to only use editions for the 2016 version and beyond. You may purchase this book online from the College Board website or a local bookseller such as Barnes & Noble or Half Price Books. You may also prepare for the Accuplacer writing test online through the Khan Academy website. Khan Academy provides free SAT practice with individualized study plans for improvement. Through their website, you can complete a full SAT test or shorter quizzes to begin receiving personalized study tips for improving your score. You can also print copies of SAT practice tests directly from the Khan Academy website. You can visit Lakeland Community College's placement test preparation page to access both the College Board and Khan Academy websites for free SAT practice. I hope that you found this Accuplacer writing test prep overview helpful. Make sure to check out our free resources for preparation. Also, you can call or stop in to the Learning Center to sign up for in-person placement test preparation sessions for the Accuplacer writing test. And good luck!